Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah, go Cowboys!
This is Mick Shots.
Streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app.
Now, here are Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
Mickey Spagnola putting on his headset for another edition of Mix Shots here inside the SWBC podcast studio. It's me, Bill Jones. It's Mickey Spagnola, who normally is the star of the show, but really today filling in for the vacationing Everson Walls, Nate Newton. Hello, Nathaniel Newton.
I'm excited to be here. I'm overjoyed, man. We are the original posse. Y'all know that, right?
That's right.
We are the original. Yeah. We started it all.
The original Talking Cowboys.
Yeah, and then somebody stole the name and stole all our viewers, too. Yeah.
Because they thought that's what they were going to get, right?
Yes, yeah.
Well, welcome, Nate.
Hey,
it's great to have you.
I'm glad to be here,
on
Bill.
short notice.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You know, Mick hit me, with his phone, and I tried to call him back. I tried to ring him back. This time he didn't let the ringer get him.
It didn't ring.
Yeah.
If you by chance did not catch yesterday's show, there was a segment where Mickey's phone was ringing incessantly, and it was Nate in Frisco who was trying to call him.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't. He was trying to irritate me because one person called it was an important
Oh, that's
call.
right.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm a non-important call.
That's right. That's right. So who knows what Everson's doing today, but Everson's not here today. So we get the perspective of Nate Newton
From a fat lineman.
Well, speaking of linemen, since you brought it up, how do you figure that Cowboys' offensive line has been performing in the run game?
It has not been effective. I don't know if it's lack of coach wanting to call it or quick panic, but the guys, it's certain parts of a game that you have to run in the game, or you have to run certain things in a game to get good at, and running is now a part of. You have to make a concerted effort to run in the games. Practice will not be good enough. Practices are not physical enough to give you any type true look of what's going down. We have to make a concerted effort offensively to give these guys opportunity. That's the only way they're going to get better. That's the only way our rookies are going to gel with our veteran guys. Steele is an excellent run blocker. But if you don't get Steele going early with run where he can get his hands on people so he can build his confidence, he normally don't have a good passing game. So we have to make a concerted effort to get guys going. Zeke is an in-between the tackles guy. He will excel there if you give him the opportunities to excel there. So, but that trying to get outside, that is not Zeke anymore. And that is not who our offensive line is. Our offensive line is an in-between the tackles guy. We don't know what Guyton is because we haven't given him a chance in the run game to see what type of runs he likes the best, or what Cooper Beebe likes the best, or what this unit like as a group the best, because we haven't made a concerted effort. Coach has to. I know Mike Solari, I don't know how he is with his fellow coaches, but I know what his offensive line is saying. Coach, give us a chance. They haven't had a chance, and so that's just how I feel about that.
Well, the reason I ask, because it seems like always the criticism, it goes to the running backs, and and watching what I've seen, I haven't seen big holes for running backs to fire through.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. When you don't have an elite back who can make things happen regardless of a missed block here or not being fully, you have to have an exceptional offensive line. And right now, these guys have not worked together long enough to be exceptional. It's only 2 games. And y'all know how I've always said this. Once Coach McCarthy said no preseason for these guys, I am serious when I say you won't know this team for 4 or 5 games. You won't. And that's any team that don't play their players at least a half during the regular season. You don't know what these guys can do. You've never seen these guys work together. And you got 2 rookies starting. You may be 5, 6, 7 games in before these guys start to have the confidence that they need. You look at this offensive line, and our right guard is not who he used to be. He's not. He's still an exceptional player, but dominant, taking over. No, he's not that guy. Still needs a certain style of play to get his confidence up. And so now the only main dog we have is the left guard. He's the most consistent guy at this point. So, and going into this game here in the film I've watched of the Ravens,
not going to run the ball very well.
You ain't finna run the ball. They giving up 49.5 yards a game, and I'm watching them, and they have a solid enough defense where they can gang tackle you, or they can make one-on-one plays on your offensive line. So I've watched what they did to the
Raiders.
To the Raiders. They not only ran to the ball when it rushed outside with the reckless abandon, they were able to defeat one-on-one players. Number 98 was making plays. Number 99 was making plays. Big Michael Pierce, number 58, he just eating up blocks, man. He like a big old fat sponge. Excuse me, sir, I don't want to call you fat. A big old hefty sponge, just soaking up blocks. I mean, we can learn something from the Raiders defense. And I'm quite, back in the day, we would watch people during the offseason, other teams, like, hey, look at, this is how you do this. You have to find guys. Somebody should show number 58 for us what the 58 for the Ravens do. Hey, this is what you're supposed to look like, but I don't know if it'll hurt his feelings or get him mad, but
that'll be okay.
But help him. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the Raiders only ran the ball 17 times. They gained 27 yards of rushing.
Yes. And
that doesn't bode well.
By the way, what number 58 for the Ravens looks like, he's listed as 6 foot 355
pounds of pure rock and gut.
He wears 58 because his weight is 358.
Get out of here.
I'm telling you, he wears a big white T-shirt and puts on a jersey that's too small, and after the first play, he never tucks his jersey back down. It's just gut galore.
And just 6 foot tall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Low man wins.
So they've only faced 20 runs against Kansas City, and so 37 runs in 2 games. So do people just give up, and that's why they're last in pass defense, because everybody just throws the ball against them?
Yeah. The thing about it, their secondary isn't as strong as it used to be. They had 5 sacks against the Raiders.
That's right. Ed Reed doesn't play there anymore.
Yeah. So the thing about this Ravens team, and y'all know how I am, you lose, but you can see where the Ravens have had great opportunities to win games. The toe tap against Kansas City. I haven't watched much of the offense of the Ravens. They say they had a drive going, and I saw the highlight where the quarterback, couldn't get the ball. He just ran it, and time ran out. Coaches say play through the whistle and play through the clock. These guys have done that. You can look up and say, wow, they're pretty good. They're a wounded team that has played well. We're a wounded team that played well and have not played well. So you got 2 desperate teams. I don't know where they end up at after this game. I hate to call it this early in the week, but who's the most desperate team willing to make enough of the good plays, and limit the bad plays?
Well, I'll tell you what, Baltimore doesn't want to start a season 0-3.
Nah. Because they already at the 11% factile of not
Right.
making the playoffs, huh?
Well,
Tell you what,
the stat.
Cowboys don't want to start the season 1-2.
Yeah.
But tell me this.
Look at the Cowboys' schedule coming
I
up.
know, but look at this. How many people that you know how they do the schedule comes
Yeah.
out, it's WL.
Yeah.
How many people had them 1-2 after the first 3 games?
But they didn't have one of the L's be in New Orleans at home.
No, they just
home
got
opener.
it.
So
It flipped.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't have them beating Cleveland.
Mm.
They didn't have them beating Baltimore. They had them beating the Saints.
But this is what makes you laugh. The people, the all 22. That is the catch thing now, right? I have all. You get calls. I have all 22, and what I've seen. Okay, you got all 22. If you watch New Orleans the week before, you couldn't judge them because of who they played, the
Right.
Carolina Panthers. And now, to insult to injury, they even put the kid on the bench. Bryce is gone. I mean, he may not ever play again for the Panthers. But the Panthers were missing 2 of their defensive studs that could have made a difference. And so we would have got a better idea if them studs was in there and New Orleans would have still did what they did. Well, what New Orleans did for us is they secured that we know that our first-round pick is just average. This kid is just average. And that we have 2 older gentlemen that is on their last leg. So my question is,
Well, now one.
what happened?
Phillips is on.
No, you're talking about the offensive line.
No, I'm
No,
talking
you
about
were
defensive
talking
line.
Oh, you're talking about your
defensive.
defensive line.
I'm talking about
your
how-
first round pick last
He
year.
meant Mozzie.
Yeah.
When you said first round pick, I thought you were
No.
back on Guyton.
No. Guyton is holding on. Guyton is 1,000 miles ahead of where Mozzie was.
Right. Okay.
Guyton got bulldog in him. He'll fight. Mozzie don't have any.
Okay. And so now to the news of this day.
Right.
And Mickey.
Jordan Phillips has been placed on injured reserve with a wrist injury.
And the Cowboys have signed.
Carlos Watkins. Why do I remember?
Because he was here.
played for us.
right?
He played
He
for
was
us.
here.
Yeah.
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 That's why.
In fact, he scored a touchdown against the New Orleans Saints at New Orleans. It was like on an interception return or a fumble return in New Orleans, I think.
Oh, yeah.
He was originally with the Texans, but so
Yeah.
they got him a week late because he's had success against New Orleans.
No, yeah. Good.
The-
So he's got a wrist injury, and they put
Jordan
him on
Phillips.
IR.
I did see the play that you were talking about. It was the first touchdown of the game
yeah.
where we got blocked and just
Turned
walked
his back.
away. Yeah.
I saw a lot of backpedaling myself.
I text you guys the other day. I said, was it the Texas two-step? This Cowboy team has put, I think, 2 good coaches on the hot seat. And I wouldn't have said this a month ago or 2 weeks ago, and I wasn't even thinking it. But our defense has automatically put Zim on the hot seat and automatically put Coach McCarthy on the hot seat because of, I don't want to say the lack of effort, because I've been in games like that where we wasn't very good early in our career before, with Coach Landry, we wasn't very good. But I don't want to say 2 games in that this team is not very good defensively. I just refuse to believe that Coach Zim cannot turn this around for these guys if they just give the right effort, the right intensity. It's hard for me to knock a team in this new NFL 2 weeks in. But this is a desperation situation, I believe, for both teams, not just for our team. For both teams.
And one of the reasons I think it's a desperation situation for the Cowboys is when you look at the schedule coming up. Okay, can I run down it? Can I rebrief us on what's coming up?
I've heard it. You only got one cupcake, and they're going to play us hard.
And that's on a short week on the road.
On the road.
Right,
Yeah.
which is next week. Which, by the way, the Cowboys are about to play 2 games in 5 days. By a week from tomorrow,
Yes.
this team's going to have 4 games under their belt.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and sitting there at 1-1 right now. You would love to be 3-1, but it's okay. After that, okay, so you got the Ravens, and then you got a Thursday game against the Giants. Then you are at the Steelers.
Night game.
Which is a 2-0 team right now, and with their defense, with the way they're playing. Home against Detroit, which was in the conference championship game last year, bye week. At San Francisco, which was in the Super Bowl. At Atlanta, which just won on the road at Philadelphia. Home against Philadelphia, and then home against Houston.
So you're saying they can breathe the next week against
And
Washington?
then after that, you got 2 division games within 5 days of each other, Sunday, Thursday, Thanksgiving week, at Washington, home against the Giants.
Well, you know what they're saying?
This team needs to rack up some wins.
But you know what they're saying in Baltimore?
What's that?
Well, they better win this one because next week they got to play Buffalo, and the week after that they got to go to Cincinnati. And they're already writing they could be 0-5.
The thing about it is it's always, and I say this until about the 10th game or the 11th game, there's always next week. Mm-hmm. Around about the 10th, 11th, or 12th game, that you either fighting for something or you're fighting for a top 10 pick in the draft. So we can say that up until about the 10th, 11th, maybe the 12th week. After that, your faith is about sealed. So these guys have to find – fellas, I'm going to say this, and I ain't going to never back up off of this. We have winning coaches. The question is, are the players going to listen? Are the players going to believe? Is it a player over there with enough get up and go, to make the other players respond? I've been around guys that can get guys to respond to what is right. Nothing is wrong with Coach McCarthy's system. Nothing is wrong with Mike Zimmer's system. I'm asking the players, what are you going to do? What are you going to do as a player? Because I've been on sorry teams. One in whatever, 3
15.
in whatever. I've
15,
been there.
13.
But somehow, some way, a coach came in, which was Coach Johnson, and basically took a lot of those same guys and made the record a little better as he started to bring in fresher talent. We are stuck right where we are. It's not about fresher talent. It's about the talent that's here, embracing the moment. They have to embrace the moment come Sunday. They have to embrace the moment.
So did you look up Carlos Watkins when you were checking on him?
No, I did not, no.
I was just wondering, has he been playing?
Yes, he was with the team. I can't remember who.
He was somewhere, right?
Yeah,
so
and I'll look that up
he
and have it
should
for
be
you.
able to play.
He's ready to play.
Yes.
He was just let go by someone. I can't remember. Which I'll look it up, and we'll have it for you when Mick Shots continues in a moment. And we go through Mickey's legal pad in just a moment on Mick Shots. That's exciting stuff.
Hey, Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle?
Visit blockchain.com/cowboys to get started.
Miller Lite is brewed with great taste and only great taste.
The Miller Brewing Company would like to issue a correction. Miller Lite is brewed to be less filling. What are you doing here?
Miller Lite tastes great.
Look, I'm just reading the script. It says less filling.
That's not what my script says.
Well, mine says.
We'd like to apologize for the previous announcers. Miller Lite is in fact less filling and tastes great. Time to shine, legal guy.
Celebrate responsibly. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Beer. 96 calories and 3.2 grams carbs per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel? Attend the best tailgate party in Texas? Tour the Star and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Back to Mick Shots.
Hey, Nate Newton, are you the 2024 Dallas Cowboys Fan of the Year? The Dallas Cowboys and Captain Morgan are celebrating extraordinary, inspiring, and original fans. Nominate yourself or the biggest Cowboy fan you know for a chance to be named the 2024 Fan of the Year and win prizes including a trip to Super Bowl 59. Visit DallasCowboys.com/Fan of the Year and go Cowboys.
All right. Carlos Watkins was with the Washington Commanders.
Okay.
He was on their practice squad, and I don't know if he was released from the practice squad. I got to look that up. But the Cowboys have signed Carlos Watkins.
And he was with the Cowboys 2021?
He was 2021 and 2022.
Yeah.
Last year, he was with Arizona, 2 games, 1 start, had an injury, and so he was coming off of that. And that was why it was not an early signing during the offseason as well. So he's taken Jordan Phillips' spot as Jordan Phillips goes on IR with what the Cowboys are saying is a wrist injury.
So on the practice squad, they have 2 defensive tackles. Denzel Daxon, the rookie free agent, that they've got a free spot because he's an international player. And then the other guy is Phil Hoskins, who's in his 4th year, 6'5", 315. I ran across him. He's pretty big. So if you're looking for big, they had big. I don't know how productive he can be, but it's a body if they have to elevate somebody. And now, it sounded like when he said they added him to the 53-man roster. Watkins?
They did sign him off the practice squad. They poached him off Washington's practice squad.
And you got to keep
he's got
him
3 games.
For 3 games.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, and the thing with Watkins, and I'm got to research him, but he only played the 2 games last year for Arizona, so he was presuming that he was coming off an injury, which is why he didn't have a market in free agency.
So at least they knew
and he was
something.
a late signing by the Commanders heading in training camp.
So at least they know something about him. Having been here.
Right, exactly.
So that helps.
And he's out of Clemson, and he was a 4th-round pick of the Texans back in 2017. So he's 30-year-old. He fits right in with the 30-something interior defensive lineman that the Cowboys are going with right now, or have to go with by necessity right now.
And they realized at training camp they didn't have enough defensive tackles.
Which is why they
Smith,
traded for Jordan Phillips,
yes.
Why Linval Joseph came in, and why Albert Huggins was here for a while.
Well, and if you think about what they were trying to do is play Fehoko inside. They were trying to play
Justin Rogers, a 7th-round draft pick,
Golston inside,
who's now on the Cincinnati practice squad. So,
let me tell y'all something. That's in the past. Tell me what we're going to do today.
No, well, I'm saying that's why they got in this.
Tell us on Mick Shots what are they going to do today.
That's why they got in this situation.
That's why they drafted one in the 1st round, a defensive tackle in the 1st round last year.
Yes.
So they wouldn't be in this position this year. Yeah.
They did not get anybody in the first 3 rounds because they was trying to hope that Mozzie would see that you are our guy. We're dependent on you.
And they had a huge need at left tackle and center to fill. They did. They did a first-round pick and a third-round pick this year on them.
And that's what I'm saying.
And they got a defensive lineman in the second round in Marshawn Nealon, which was a definite need too, because of when you look where DeMarcus Lawrence is in his career. But he's not an interior defensive.
Although
tackle.
they've been playing him inside some.
This was, to me, a soft rebuild. The Cowboys just didn't blow it up because they still have Dak, they still have CeeDee Lamb, Martin, Steele, guys. They still had a core of players where they don't have to blow it up at this point. But you had enough young guys at key positions that hurt. The tackle spot, the center spot, out the middle of our defense, and then. We don't know what Sam Williams was going to do, but that was a big loss.
That hurt.
That was a big
still
loss.
Hurting
because we know that he could make plays on both ends, smart and dumb. But
special teams too.
Yeah, here we sit. What are we going to do today? What is our effort going to be come Sunday? We know that this team likes to run. We know that they want to get back to their winning ways, and that's them dominating a run game. And I'm talking about the Ravens. What are we going to do defensively? What can Coach Zimmer cook up for these guys to help these guys be better run stoppers,
Well, and they're going to get, tested, obviously, with Lamar Jackson. So what do you guys think you would like to do to stop him from – I think he's already run for 170 yards.
Let me say this before we go into that. It was a bicep injury that Watkins had last year. Week 2 of last year, he was lost for the season with a torn biceps. Now, what do you do about Lamar Jackson?
Yeah. How do you want to stop him? Got it? Because they're going to call running plays.
Yes, I would not. I would stack the offensive line. I will make him throw to beat me. When teams get into the playoffs or get into the latter part of the season, every team don't employ this, but the teams that's late in the season need wins, they make Lamar beat them passing. They beat us passing. Maybe that's the Cowboys' answer. If you're gonna beat us, you're gonna have to throw for 290+ yards, no interceptions, and touchdowns. That's what I would do.
The Chiefs gave the model for how you defend Lamar Jackson in the playoffs last year.
Right.
And, I mean, you can look at their first game of the year this year, but I'd look at that playoff game last year and the way they defended him and kept him in the pocket and kept him from getting out was your cousin Steve.
Cousin Steve.
Was the one who came up with the master plan for that. There was a lot of smart players on that Kansas City defense, too.
Because – it's not that he scrambles and beats you. They call running plays for him. They're pulling 2 offensive linemen to be lead blockers for him, right?
And a running back.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say, Nate, because now you got 10 guys could block for him, not the quarterback out of the play. So you stack the line and stop the run. And make them throw the ball.
Yes, you got to, and you have to be disciplined because that run pass option. I mean, he got 3 ways to go. He can hand it to Henry. He can keep it himself, or he can look out there and see if that corner done cheated, hit the outside receiver, or hit a tight end fading out the seam.
So can you afford to have one linebacker, and I'm guessing Overshown, spy on him? On Jackson, if he's
just a different dude
throwing the ball.
Just a different dude. If Overshown can't miss, see that when you're elite at what you do, you can't miss. So my thing is, let everybody do their job. And you talking about spying on in the past? Or?
Yeah.
Well, here's the other thing. It gets back.
Yes.
To stop him from
scrambling. I agree with what you're saying. Yes, you have to have a spy, but I would like a even faster guy than him. I mean, do we have a DB?
Michael Parsons.
I mean, I'm serious.
If you're looking for a faster guy, Michael Parsons.
But Overshown can go. He can motor.
Right.
And this guy will make him look slow. But what Overshown cannot do, what I see most spies do, don't get in the wash. Where they'll ease up, they'll see a gap, and the first thing a linebacker thinks is fill that gap. Well, you don't fill that gap. Stay back and keep your eyes on this dude. Because when he break out of one of these seams, you got to be there. And if you come up into a hole and commit, and something over to the right, he gone. And so this spy got to be real patient.
Well, and the thing with Overshown, he's played 2 NFL games. I mean, he doesn't have the experience.
Right.
But who's got the size and speed?
But, here's the other thing, which we talked about yesterday. People were asking how come Overshown wasn't on the field against New Orleans. Well, you're going to run into the same thing against Baltimore, which has a 300-pound fullback named Patrick Ricard, who will be on the field for as much as Taysom Hill lined up at fullback.
And they like playing
two tight ends with Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely to go along with them. And so that will dictate if the Cowboys are going to keep the same personnel on defense that they had in the New Orleans game, which is Overshown's on the field in the nickel. He's a sub-linebacker in the nickel package. Then Leofau and Damone Clark are on the field with 3 linebackers when they go 2 tight ends and a fullback. So Overshown's not even on the field in that package.
And by the way, just so we don't miss this part.
Can I throw my hands up? Can I throw my hands up?
And surrender?
Say what you got to say, and I'm going to throw
Okay. You're talking about after 2 weeks?
No.
Baltimore.
How many times did New Orleans run on us? Was it 30 or
40 times?
Okay. I'm throwing my hands up. Y'all, listen to me.
39.
No, listen to me. This is the God-heaven truth. Listen to me. It would not have mattered if Overshown was in the game. You could have went and got Jack Lambert. You could have went and got Dick Buckets. You could have went and got
Joe Schmidt in honor of his.
You could have went and got Lawrence Taylor. Those are 3 great linebackers. If your defensive line does not do their job, I don't care who your linebackers. I keep asking people, what is Overshown going to do when a tackle is sitting in your lap? What is he going to do?
Exactly.
The coaches know what they're doing. We just need for our front defenders to do their job.
Which gets back to that screen pass to Kamara. What's Kendricks going to do when you've got an offensive guard who's between him and Kamara?
Yes.
When Lawrence makes a swing move inside and it leaves a lane wide open for the screen pass for Kamara because your Leofau rushed to the outside and it's just wide open. And it's now one-on-one. You got an offensive guard against Kendricks. The whole idea is to keep the offensive linemen off the linebackers, right?
It's amazing.
And it gets back to Lamar Jackson, the spy business. What Kansas City did against him in the conference championship game last year was – they contained him. They're not pinning their ears back and going after him.
So my point was going to be, when we're talking about running and passing, after 2 games, they've got the #1 offense in the league.
Who is that?
Baltimore.
Yes, they do.
They've gained more yards than any other team.
It's just the only place they ain't #1 is scoring.
Which in New Orleans is that.
And they're number 32 in defense.
Yeah.
Pass defense.
You said it so perfect. All you have to do when he get ready to pass is go 3 steps up the field, a defensive lineman. Defensive end, y'all go 4 steps. You form the umbrella. Overshown or whoever you want standing back there, he drops back 4 or 5 yards. Give himself a cushion between this defensive line so when he takes off, you always have an angle on him. But if you go up into that offensive line, you lose all angles with this guy's speed. Excuse me for stepping back, Chris. I know you're going to get on me. I know you're going to get on me. Yeah. Yeah. So, but you get what I'm saying? You can't lose the angle on this kid. This kid is what? Almost 28, 29 and still can run a 4.3, 4.2, 40. So we got to be disciplined. We got to make this kid throw and beat us. Don't let that big old mountain of a man, Henry, get involved.
See, this looks misleading. They got him listed as 6'2", 205.
Who is that?
Lamar Jackson.
What, he about 190?
He's bigger than that, don't you think? When he starts running, he looks bigger.
He a little something. He a little thing, man. He's just long and lean and wiry. There's no answers when you get 14 or more points behind.
He at the combine, Mickey, he measured 6'2" and a quarter, 216 pounds.
Slim down, huh?
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
He don't look slim when he's got the ball in his hands running full speed. I can tell you that.
And he is 27 years old, still very young.
Young, yes. Very young.
All right, we continue with more Mick Shots in just a moment.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Hey, Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
Miller Lite is brewed with great taste and only great taste.
The Miller Brewing Company would like to issue a correction. Miller Lite is brewed to be less filling. What are you doing here?
Miller Lite tastes great.
Look, I'm just reading the script. It says less filling.
That's not what my script says.
Well, mine says...
We'd like to apologize for the previous announcers. Miller Lite is in fact less filling and tastes great. Time to shine, legal guy.
Celebrate responsibly. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Beer. 96 calories and 3.2 grams carbs per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Back to Mick Shots.
Step up your game day look with the 2024 Dallas Cowboys Nike Zoom Pegasus running shoes. Discover the ultimate comfort with its responsive cushioning and breathable mesh. Visit Pro Shop near you or log on to shop.dallascowboys.com. A Fanatics experience to score yours today.
All right, very good. Okay, final 5 or 10 minutes here of Mick Shots, and we barely have dived into Mickey's legal pad. What do you got interesting on there?
So I ran across this. It's some Ravens site on the line that they...
On the line or online?
The online.
Okay.
You remember Stratomatic when we were growing up? They were still in business now.
Did you have a Stratomatic, Nate?
What is that?
It was a football game.
Oh, okay. I remember that, yeah.
So Stratomatic did a stimulation on, I guess,
It'd
every
be a
team.
Simulation, probably.
What did I say? Stimulation?
Wow, you've been hanging on our show.
They stimulated a simulation on every game the Ravens would play before they played it, right?
Okay.
And the simulations for the first two games, Baltimore was going to be 0-2.
Wow.
How about the third game?
1-2. But
They're
they had them losing to the Chiefs 27-24. They lost 27-20, and then they had them losing to the Raiders, and I think they even got the score right, 26-23. Just one of the things I ran across.
So does anybody ever go back and check how they do on those, how the odds makers do on those picks? You have a running record of
like from a
just
from
wins
a
and
point?
losses, not
just wins and losses?
whether the bet was won or not, but wins and losses, whether they got it right or not.
I've never wanted to do the betting thing, especially coming into the league. You know, they had it big on the wall. If you get caught gambling, you out of the league. So, and now we have to do all this stuff. So I don't even think about stuff.
I don't either. I never have.
It would be nice to know just for entertainment purposes, but that ain't worth losing a job.
I've seen media people betting on games that they're covering. It's the most miserable day of their lives.
So that's when there's not supposed to be any cheering in the press box. That's when you get yelling in the press box, right?
The thing, fellas.
Anyway, that was one of the things I had on my notes.
That's why I don't.
Do you find anything about desperation in online? Because I've never, since I played, when we were desperate almost every game when we was going through a bad season, when going over there talking to the guys, or have y'all, how are the guys taking this? Are they locked in, don't want to talk to nobody? Are they?
We'll find out today.
Because.
What do you anticipate?
I ain't saying gloom and doom, but intensity. It should be a feel in that locker room like, man, we ain't got time to play.
Okay, tell us what it would have been like.
Well, what was it like when you started 0-2 in 93?
Oh, you talking about with Emmett being out?
Yeah.
Oh, it was man. First of all, thank you for Mr. Jones for not firing all of us for talking about you. but we knew we were good, and we knew that if we had Emmett, at least one of those games would have been different.
Mm-hmm.
And so we was blaming upper management, and we was open about it. You know, like what not calling Mr. Jones' name, but saying, wow, what are they gonna do? You know, these other guys these other running backs are just guys. You know, so but each week we went in probably much like these Ravens saying, we're a better team than this. We are a much better team than this. We have proven it year after year. And I'm saying the Cowboys they've been where they've lost the second game before and run off 8 or 9 good victories. So, you know, do we have enough of guys in here to remember that last year we were in the same predicament? So how do you feel? I mean, so when you go over there and you can answer to Everson tomorrow maybe, what is it like over there? I don't go over there messing with players because they don't need it. They got enough bunch of old heads walking around there trying to stick their chests out about what they've done. I believe let every generation build their own hopes. But man, we gotta have that feeling. Do you go over there, Bill?
I don't go to the locker room very often.
Mick, you go every day, right?
I do.
Man, give the fans write it down or something. Give the fans of what you feel is happening over there. You know, not gloom and doom. I know it's not going to be that. They know they got 15 more games. I saw Mr. Stephen Jones, and hey, sir, come here. You know, you have 15 more games. Let these guys know they have 15 more games. You know, no matter how if it was a baseball season, we would just throw it against the wall and wouldn't even care. 162 games, is that correct?
162.
Okay, we got beat 50 than that. Who cares?
So basically, what the football equivalent is, if you wanted to put it in baseball terms, with 160. I mean, you got a 17-game season. So through 2 games, in a baseball season, you've played 20 games now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Basically.
That's right.
So,
and you're 10-10.
the stat.
So you got a 500 record through 20 games baseball.
The stat that the Ravens are facing since 2020, 32 teams have started the season 0-2.
Mm-hmm.
Only 2 of them made it to the playoffs.
Right.
The 2023 Texans and the 2022 Bengals.
Right.
So
but that Bengals had who at quarterback?
Joe Burrow.
Somebody named Joe Burrow.
Yeah, that's a beast. That's a beast.
And they've been starting 0-2 every year, it seems like, and they're 0-2 again this year.
Yeah.
And the Cowboys in 42 games, if we count 2 this year, which I don't think we should count, they've only once lost back-to-back games. And they did it last year.
Say that one more time.
So 2022 season,
Yeah.
2023 season, and 6 games in 2021. So 40 games, counting the 2 this year. They've only lost back-to-back games once, and it was last year, Buffalo, Miami, right?
Okay.
Buffalo, Miami. So they've recovered from losses with Mike McCarthy being here.
And that was in December, so that was late in the season.
And then the time before would have been 2021.
So to answer your question, they're not panicked over there, and they feel like that they haven't.
Tell us that.
Yeah.
I want.
Here's what I anticipate. Here's
Right.
what I anticipate. All's good. We got this. We got this.
Right.
It would be the attitude. We got this.
In 2021, they lost back-to-back games to Kansas City and then Vegas in overtime. So they've responded. Now, this is a different team, and it's a somewhat younger team, right? You got a lot of young guys that you're trying to integrate into this system.
All right, let me ask you this. How, for Troy's leadership, okay, and you know how Troy was.
Right.
Okay, how did that affect the rest of it? Like, what was Troy like after an 0-2 start that season, and how does that trickle down to the rest of the team?
Troy did not have to say a word.
He showed it by
he came to work, very professional. Mm-hmm. Troy has always been direct focus when he hit those doors. He had enough guys on defense. Our defense was very, very vocal. You know, starting with Charles Haley.
Right.
So yes.
But Troy got his message across not by having to say anything, because he just put his nose to the grindstone, and you saw by his attitude that get to work.
He just stared you down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know.
But you know what? Twice in 93, you lost back-to-back games.
Yeah.
If you remember. After the first 2, you ended up losing at Atlanta and then Miami. And that's when Jimmy kind of got out the strap and said, we got to win
Troy
out.
was hurt in Atlanta, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or Emmett was, one of the 2. And Jimmy said, you got to win 5 straight to finish the season to get home field advantage.
Yeah.
And to win the division.
Yeah.
And he didn't win the division until overtime against the Giants.
Yeah. The thing is, and that's what I'm saying, when you know the coach has put you in position to win, like Parsons said, it wasn't the coach. He said this. It was us as players, 11 guys, he even included himself. Now I'm asking the question. I know who Zim is and what his defense is. I've seen Mike McCarthy dial it up right. He dialed it up right more than a few times. What are the players going to do?
See, that's a great example, coming back off of back-to-back losses, and it's legend now. I mean, just think of Emmett in that Giants game, and the rest of the team too.
Right.
It's legend what that team did in overcoming adversity, and now we're going to find out what this team is like.
You know, I had a former player once tell me, as hard as Jimmy had to coach you those last 5 games, and then to win 3 more in the playoffs, that he would have had trouble coming back the next year coaching you even harder.
Yeah.
Because he probably got as much out of you as he could.
Yeah, he got it all, man. But I'm gonna tell you what, man. Thank you, Michael Irvin, Troy Aikman. Thank you, Charles Haley, Tony Tolbert. Thank you, Darren Woodson. Thank you, our linebackers at that time. we had some dogs that you was not going to walk out on that field after they done gave us that ball across the 50. We wasn't going to walk off the field with less than 7 points, because if we walked out, we didn't have to look at Jimmy. It was our defense going to be like, you mean to tell me we gave y'all the ball on the 50, y'all can't go 49 yards? You know, so it's players now, and that's who I'm going with. Players going to have to hold themselves accountable. Hey, the coaches ain't going to always – they going to dial it up, right? Execute it.
The linebacker, Kenny Norton?
Yes, sir. You talking about somebody that was smart and underrated? I mean, Ken Norton would – no matter – I'm talking about our offense. You don't study your own offense. We would be in practice, inside run. We would be in practice, regular offense. Power right, power left. Look out for the draw. I'm like, Ken, hold on, bro. We your own team. Yeah. I'm studying y'all, and I'm going to know who y'all are. Look at Troy. He doing this. Look out for this. Look out. Michael Irvin in tight. Look, he going to run the slant. I'm like,
and then the next year he's playing for San Francisco.
And now you know he really eating us alive.
You remember he finished that season playing with a torn bicep?
Yes, I remember, man.
They would roll it down and tape it up. Or
stretch it out.
They stretch it out and wrap it.
I'm telling you, these guys were unique. They were unique, and I'm wondering, do they have any unique guys over there?
We're about to find out.
About to find out. All right, Nate. Thanks for joining us here. Everson will be back tomorrow, I think. And we'll chat at you again tomorrow on Mix Shots.
Go Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?